Okay, I just watched the episode. Sorry, it's a few days late. I've just been very busy, but I was really had high hopes for this because Stephen Moffat, he might not be the best showrunner and overarching story producer, but he knows how to do standalone Doctor Who stories. He is the perhaps the expert at doing that format. From all the way back in season one through his bangers in season four, like he's just three and four. He's just the expert at that, and he proves it again here. This was an awesome episode. It had its issues, it definitely did, but this was such a good episode, such an emotional episode. Like the acting, not really from the side characters, but from like the Doctor of Ruby was just so potent and powerful. Like, oh my god, like, like for all the issues that I've had with the season thus far, like this doctor and this campaign are just so fucking good. like amazing. Like everything I could have wanted from a doctor and companion. And like the real like the duality of this form of the doctor with like the such like the ability to switch from like this really fun, really vibrant character to someone that's like, so that's so serious and so sad, and it's just like this like dual, and then someone that's so genuinely terrified, like genuinely scared, and that's something that the doctor, that vulnerability is something that you don't rarely see in the doctor. So yeah, it was just amazing to see in this episode, and I love the concept of this episode. I'm gonna go into spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, go ahead. But like but jump off of the video right now. But the concept of like this AI algorithm essentially facilitating a war for a company, and the fact that the twist is that there's no actual war, it's just one side thinking there's another like race out there that they're fighting, and it's just a loop. It's just like they are like setting like they're just being killed by their own technology. It's genius, really amazing sci-fi story. Now, it had its issues. It definitely did. The way it sort of handled the ending was like really rushed and really rough. And I would be lying if I said this was a perfect episode. I was close to saying it was a perfect episode until that happened. It's really like very rushed, very unexplained. It covers so much ground in so little time. Like, oh, we destroyed this intergalactic corporation, and we've ended this war, and from like one move that it's like seems almost like very far, only very far fetched, but it seems like it wasn't actually successful at first. I know that's the twist that it worked, but like, how did it work? How did this happen? You can't just be like, oh, it happened, it worked. like what happened? What was there? I don't know. If you watch the episode, you know what I mean. So that was a little frustrating, but overall, this was like a really good Doctor Who story, like really, really solid, and it's and it poses a lot of interesting questions about like the overarching narrative. Like obviously, like there's been a lot of discourse about this like this actress that she played the ambulance AI thing in this one, but she keeps appearing in every episode in this run so far, and like maybe there's something to her, or it could just be a running bit, like who knows. But interesting stuff that they wrote, like obviously the snow thing happened with Ruby. That's been happening every episode, so that's like a very interesting thread. Another interesting like bit with that is that like the AI ambulance calculated her age, and it said like 3,000 and something, and the doctor appeared surprised. Now, I'm not sure if this was just the AI calculating, oh, like this is 3,000 something years into the future from when Ruby Sunday was born. Like that could very well be what that scene was intending, and I could just be overreading it. But there also is very well the possibility that Ruby is actually some sort of 3,000 something year old entity, and that's part of her mystery. And I'm keeping that idea open. I'm not saying like I could be reading much deeper into it, and it could be the initial thing, could have been that I mentioned, could have been the intention. But just keeping that idea open in my head, just in case it comes back, I'm really excited. Like I feel like they're setting up a really interesting mystery. Then there's like multiple threads to this mystery. There's this woman that keeps reappearing. There was Mrs. Flood back in the church on Ruby Road. There was everything going on with Ruby and the snow, and like her true nature around her birth and what the twist is going to be. a lot of people have been like and of course the one who waits and everything. And all of this is going to be, I assume, interconnected into one twist, obviously, for the season, and one like big bad for the season, of course. I think that like they won't keep it as. I think it's all interconnected. I think Russell T Davies knows what he's doing with interconnected narratives throughout the season. That's like his sort of what he introduced to Doctor Who, and it was really good, like forte of his, you know. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see where all these mysteries go. This is a shorter season, and we're getting like this was the 3rd episode. I think there's 8. Right? 8, 7, 8? I don't know. So we're like approaching the halfway point. So like, you know, it's going by quick. It's going by quick. But yeah, this was a really, really good episode. Definitely my favorite of the season so far. I would still say the Church Over Ruby Road, if you count it as part of this season, I would rank that higher. Because that was really like, you know, for all of its like weird cheesiness, like that was really a masterpiece to me. I don't know why. I just like really was so fond of that special. But of this, the season proper so far, this is definitely the strongest so far, and I could see it being a contender for like strongest, like when they're going back and be like, oh, these Doctors like the classic episodes for this 15th Doctor, you know, that I could see them definitely going back to this episode. It has that vibe. It's definitely gonna be a remembered one. You know, along the lines of like Moffat's solo acts. I would say it's probably like you know, of all like the season 1 through 4 Moffat solo episodes. I would say this is probably the weakest of them all, but it still had such interesting and engaging concepts. And, you know, it really, really felt like not the whimsical side of Doctor Who, but like the social commentary side of Doctor Who, and the brilliant character writing and acting of the 2 core characters was just so good. So good. And that's like, it really felt special in that sense. So despite all its issues, this was a really strong episode, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. Yeah, like I said, like, I'm not like on that train where this season is terrible or anything like that. I know a lot of people are saying Doctor Who's ruined, it's terrible. If anything was close to ruining the show, it was seasons 12 and 13. Those were on the verge of destroying the show forever, you know. So like if anything was going to ruin the show, it would be those seasons. Really, like so far, like. Well, we had one bad episode. Yeah, every Doctor Who season has a bad episode. That's the nature of the show. There's always like this sliding scale of like crap and amazingness. That's like how Doctor Who works, you know? You kind of like roll the dice each week and see what you get, you know? So, the Christmas special was incredible. We got a pretty solid one to start. Then we got a terrible episode, and then we got a really good one again. So like this is definitely not like on the track record of being a bad season or anything like that for me, at least. So yeah, that's about it for my thoughts. I'll see you in the next one.